A battle to avoid the wooden spoon. Auckland FC, can they close in on the Premier's plate? And a top six clash between Western Sydney Wanderers and Melbourne Victory. Plenty of exciting action coming up this week in the A-League men's competition. Would love to hear from you guys heading into this weekend. How do you think these matches will pan out? Join the conversation and make sure to hit the like button to support the channel. Right here, we are talking all things A-League here on out towards the end of the season, which isn't too far away. We're sort of in the final stretch now, and it does kick off with a midweek match. Recording this here on Tuesday. You may be watching this after this match has been played. And it should be an interesting one as well. I mean, Melbourne City, Newcastle Jets, you've got a City side who are in good form at the moment, looking at a pretty good position in the ladder, and Newcastle Jets who have been in good form, a few wins on the run, and then last weekend they did have that draw at home to Auckland FC. So Melbourne City, third on the ladder. They're one of these teams who are really, vying for that second spot on the ladder. We know that is so important. Looks like Auckland FC will finish first. I don't think anyone's going to catch them. They can't play Champions League football. They can't play in the Asian Champions League competitions. So that place could potentially fall to whoever finishes second, and Melbourne City will be eyeing that spot. They do have a game in hand on Western United, so this is City's chance to just leapfrog over Western to claim that second spot for the time being. But Newcastle Jets, situation for them now is interesting. They really have to win this game if they want to play finals football. I really do think it's the case now. They can't afford to lose games, and they can't really afford to draw games. I mean, 22 points right now, the Jets. So they are 9 behind Wanderers. Do have that game in hand as well. And again, this really is that game in hand. This is the opportunity. Look, it's going to be a tough test. City are usually pretty strong at home against Newcastle Jets. I expect City to win the game. I do. I think they've got too much. And, Melbourne City, we've been seeing so many of their top players returning from injury in recent weeks and recent months. Lecky's back, Tilio's back, Andreas Kuhn, Jonathan Cohen. They've got basically nearly a full-strength side at the moment. Melbourne City at home. They've, got the best defence in the league as well. It's going to take a huge effort from Newcastle Jets. But, look, they are capable. They are capable, drawing with Auckland FC, defeating Adelaide United away, defeating Melbourne Victory at home. Jets, can they do it? This is a real test for them this coming Wednesday. The weekend, the Friday night match sees Adelaide United host Macarthur FC. The Bulls, man, I'm worried about the Bulls because they've been slipping down the ladder with a couple of consecutive losses. 8th position, 25 points. Again, they need to get points if they want to be playing finals this season. But again, that departure of Elijah, man, a few weeks ago, I think it's going to seriously hurt them. And I just can't see them playing finals football. And I'm seriously concerned, where the wins are going to come from them for the rest of this season. Because they're just lacking goal scorers in that side right now. So it's a concerning moment for Auckland FC. And again, they're coming up against one of the top teams this year in Adelaide United. 9 wins, 6 draws, 4 losses. Adelaide United, they need to repair their home form. And you look at the last 4 matches here for the Reds. 2 losses and then 2 draws. Drawing at home against Brisbane on the weekend was a poor result for Adelaide United. And we saw how frustrated Reds coach Carl Vett was after that game. He was not happy. So he'll be demanding an improvement from their side. They should win. They should win on the weekend. Adelaide United here against the struggling Macarthur FC. If they don't, I mean, could the Reds, be one of those teams to slip out of the top 6? Wouldn't that be quite the story? Because the Reds, for much of this season, were looking pretty good, top 2. But they have started to slip down without a win in the last 4. So this is really a crucial game coming up for Adelaide as well. So after that, Saturday, let's talk about Wanderers, Melbourne Victory. We've got 2 teams in the top 6. This is probably the match to watch this weekend because 2 exciting teams going forward, man. Western Sydney Wanderers, 43 goals scored. They love scoring goals, Western Sydney Wanderers. So I think we can expect goals in this game. You got Melbourne Victory, who picked up an impressive 3-0 win at home to Mariners last round. Melbourne Victory, man. I mean, at times they have shown frailty this season. They have shown inconsistency. And this would be a big statement for them if they could get the win here away to a decent Wanderers side. And Wanderers, I don't think we're completely sold on them yet. Yes, they've put in some terrific performances, scoring a lot of goals, winning games by some pretty decent margins. Defensively, have they got enough to hold out to the quality of Melbourne Victory, who have the likes of Bruno Fornaroli, Ren Episcopo, Zinedine Machach, Daniel Arzani, and, the list goes on and on. They've got such great depth, Melbourne Victory. Whoever they field in sort of that front third, they always look dangerous. So this game should be fun to watch, man. I'm going to say a draw for this one. I could see it being like a 2-2 draw, something like that. You've got two top attacking teams, and it should just be a fun game to watch, I think, for a neutral. But especially an important one for Wanderers. They do want to get the win here just to avoid, they're sitting on the edge of that top six. Sydney FC, if they win this weekend, they can jump over them. You've got the battle to avoid the wooden spoon as well this Saturday. Perth Glory, Brisbane Roar, these times that you're seeing here as well are Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Who wins? Who wins? I mean, Perth Glory did defeat Brisbane earlier on this season. Will we see a similar result? I mean, you'd maybe think so, considering Perth Glory are the home team. Both these teams have shown slight improvement, I think, in the last couple months, maybe. Still, that's not saying much. Both these teams were just awful in the first few months of the season, and they've been out of contention for some time now. I mean, in terms of how it's shaping up for the wooden spoon, you should look at the games that Brisbane Roar have in hand. 2 games in hand against Perth Glory. This is a big game for Brisbane Roar, and I'm going to say Brisbane win this game. There's been times this season where they have played, some decent football. They've just missed, the quality up front to finish off some of those chances. One win off 18 games is just pretty remarkable. But here away to Perth Glory, I think they could get the result. And if they do, it's a big one for them because it means they go ahead of them because they're better on goal difference at the moment, Brisbane Roar, and then would still have those 2 games in hand. So Brisbane Roar could seriously, jump off, spring off the bottom of the table if they get a win here, way to Perth Glory. So this is an important game for both of these 2 teams. But I'm going to say, I'm sorry, Perth Glory fans, but I feel like Brisbane Roar might win this game. I think they've just got a little bit more to them. Even that goal that Jacob Brissett scored last week against Adelaide, fantastic goal, top young player. They do have good individual players, Brisbane Roar, as do Perth Glory. This game could be a real goal fest as well, but I feel like Brisbane might just get the win away in that game. Sunday, we have a triple header. Auckland FC, so it goes Mariners, Auckland, they are indeed closing in on the Premier's plate. And if they get another win here, man, it feels like they're going to be, too difficult to catch. I think they are right now. Again, looking at the ladder, Auckland 41 points heading into this round of football. Mariners obviously looking extremely unlikely that they play finals this season, and you can catch my full preview of this game on the Coastwatch Football channel. Auckland FC, you'd expect them to win this match at home. I mean, for Auckland, we have seen a couple of draws from them in the last couple of games. Still, I don't think we can read into that too much. They'll be favourites in this matchup. Worth mentioning, they will be without Louis Vestrate, picked up a red card against Newcastle last week, and Nando Painaka, who is also out with suspension as well. So, 2 key outs there for Auckland, but they've got the depth. They've got the quality. They should be defeating Mariners. It hurts me to say as a Mariners fan, but I think Auckland get the win there. Newcastle Jets, Western United. Again, another big game to watch. And, well, especially considering how the midweek game goes. Busy week for the Jets. I mean, if they can get a result away to City, that'll give them huge confidence to get a result against Western, who are one of the top teams right now. They're in fantastic form, Western United. 3 wins in a row in all 3 of those games, scoring 4 goals each. They're just so dangerous going forward, and they're fun to watch too. Like, going forward, they're so hard to stop, and I don't know if Newcastle Jets have the quality, maybe defensively, to hold out Western United for an entire match. Look, nothing against Newcastle defensively. They've actually improved, I think, in recent weeks at the back, but Western United with Noah Botic, Ibasuki, Grimaldi, Danzaki, these guys are just, you can really tell they're on the same wavelength. And at the moment, they're just tearing teams apart, winning 4-1 against Wellington last weekend. So I think Western will be favourites in that game, but huge one for Newcastle Jets. Their season could be on the line in that game this coming Sunday. And then the round finishes off with Sydney FC hosting Wellington Phoenix. Big week for Sydney as well. They've got the Asian Champions League 2 midweek. They've got that second leg match against Jeonbuk. So they'll be eyeing a spot in the semi-finals of that competition, but then they've got to keep one eye on the A-League. Against Wellington, they should be favourites in that game because, again, Wellington have been poor this season. Down at 11th place at the moment, the Knicks. 5 wins, 4 draws, 10 losses. It's been a disappointing season, and they're in a really poor run of form. 4 consecutive losses for Wellington, and they've been struggling to score the goals this season. Just 18 goals scored in 19 matches. Sydney FC, look, they've been good this season, but again, they've been one of these teams struggling for consistency. Can they bounce back after midweek football, get a win here, which could potentially lift them into the top 6? Big opportunity for the Sky Blues, especially juggling both competitions. I think they've got the depth and the quality to juggle both of those competitions. But at home here against Wellington Phoenix, if they want to play finals football in the A-League, they're surely going to win this game against Wellington Phoenix, who are lower down on the ladder from them. So those are the weekend's matches. 7 games coming up. Let me know your thoughts on these matches in the comments. Thanks very much for tuning in. My name's Lockie. Hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you in the next one.